In 1944, the world was a meat grinder of industrial slaughter. On one side, the Nazi war machine, built on steel, panzer tanks, and the world's first jet fighters. On the other, the Allied forces, raining fire from the sky with B-17 bombers. But in the middle of this high-tech hell, a single figure emerged from the smoke of the landing crafts that looked like he was lost in time. He wasn't holding a Thompson submachine gun. He wasn't clutching a Garand rifle. He was holding a 14th century Scottish claymore broadsword and a longbow. To the average American soldier, he looked like a suicide mission on two legs. To the German defenders, he was a psychological nightmare they couldn't comprehend. This is the story of Lieutenant Colonel Jack Churchill, the man who decided that a machine gun fight was the perfect place for a sword. The legend began in May 1940, during the chaotic retreat to Dunkirk. A German patrol was moving cautiously through a French village, confident that no one could match their firepower. Suddenly, the air was cut by a low, terrifying whistle. No crack of a rifle, no smell of gunpowder. A German corporal suddenly dropped to the ground, a barbed arrow buried deep in his chest. His comrades froze. They were elite soldiers of the Third Reich, yet they were being hunted by a weapon that hadn't been relevant for 500 years. That arrow was the signal. Seconds later, Jack Churchill charged from the shadows, screaming at the top of his lungs, his heavy sword catching the light. The Germans didn't even fight back at first. They were paralyzed by the sheer, absurd audacity of it. But Jack wasn't just a madman. He was a master of terror. Fast forward to the invasion of Sicily. Imagine you are a German sentry guarding a dark post. The night is quiet, except for the distant boom of artillery. Then, out of the pitch-black darkness, you hear a sound that makes your blood run cold. Bagpipes. The screeching, warlike drone of Scottish pipes echoing through the trees. Before you can even raise your Mauser, a man leaps through the fog like a ghost from the Middle Ages, brandishing a massive blade. During the battle for Salerno, Jack and a single corporal used this exact brand of madness to capture 42 German soldiers in one night. He didn't fire a single bullet. He simply cornered them in the dark, sword in hand, looking so terrifyingly insane that the Germans convinced themselves they were facing an entire battalion of monsters. They surrendered out of pure, bewildered shock. When his superiors asked how he did it, Jack simply said, "As long as you tell a German loudly and clearly what to do, if you are senior to him, he will cry jowl and get on with it." The Germans eventually captured him in Yugoslavia, but even a Nazi concentration camp couldn't hold a man who thought he was a medieval knight. They threw him in Sachsenhausen, thinking he was a relative of the British Prime Minister. Jack didn't wait for a rescue. He crawled through a dark drain pipe, slipped under a barbed wire fence, and began a 150-mile trek across the frozen Alps. He had no map, no compass, and no gear. He survived by scavenging raw onions from gardens and hiding in the shadows until he walked straight into an American armored column. The American troops who found him couldn't believe their eyes. Here was a man, filthy, starving, but still carrying the spirit of a warrior who refused to die. But here is the most mad Jack part of the story. When the war finally ended after the atomic bombs were dropped on Japan, Jack Churchill wasn't relieved. He was disgusted. He looked at the horizon and famously complained to his friends, "If it wasn't for those damn Yanks, we could have kept the war going for another 10 years. He wasn't just a soldier. He was a man who believed that modern technology had made war boring and unrefined. Jack Churchill died in 1996, leaving behind a legacy that proves that in a world of high-tech weaponry, the most dangerous weapon of all is a human being who is completely and utterly fearless. Was he a hero, or was he truly insane? One thing is for certain, the German soldiers who saw that sword gleaming in the moonlight never forgot the name Mad Jack. Would you have the guts to face a machine gun with nothing but a bow and a blade? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to see more stories of the legends the history books forgot to tell you about.